right. Good afternoon, everyone. Live from my New York City studio. I figured from now on, we're just going to name live streams the time I start streaming, and that way I don't get demonetized because YouTube just doesn't like these long titles anymore. I don't know why they don't, but I can't blame them. You know, it's one thing that we have to be very careful with our content creation lately. It's just not right. We used to be able to have long titles, but now we just can't do that anymore. Have to be very careful. All right, good. So we're live. I just want to text someone to let them know that I'm live, and we'll get started with what I want to talk to you all today about. Today we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about Long Island Railroad today. We're going to talk about what happened specifically with the derailment in Woodside. We're going to talk about another subway assault that I just found out about today from New York 1. And we're going to also talk about an awful accident in Brooklyn that actually ruined a lot of morning commutes for people from Staten Island this morning. And we're also going to talk about the weather. I just don't like this humidity. It's really stressful to deal with it. I can tell you that right now. So let's go to the screen share, and we'll get started. Someone's calling me right now? Who's calling me? I'm in the middle of a live stream. Come on. My phone's acting up, everyone. It freezes. Yeah, it's a wrong number. I'm just going to decline it. Sorry about that, everyone. Let me just share the screen and we'll get started. I couldn't want to edit a video because then it really wouldn't help at this point. So anyhow, let's talk about our first issue today on the agenda. And that is this awful derailment that happened today in Woodside. So here's what happened. A train accident apparently was the cause of an M7 getting derailed in Woodside. It happened in Woodside earlier this afternoon. This occurred at 12:19. Now, here's the ironic thing about what I was doing at that time. You want to know what I was doing at that time? Because I've been so busy today. That was my lunch. And I was actually watching the video I did with John yesterday. So that's the ironic thing about this. Okay. So this was the 12:19 train to Penn. Here's what happened. The axis came off at around 12:45 earlier this afternoon. All right, so this is what the MTA tweeted. That they had crossed on at the 7. It was very good. Many of you know I was streaming because I was freaking out that people needed service to Penn and Fresh Meadows. Because as I said, I would have just told people to take the E train into the city. I'm getting some very negative comments right now. Privately, I'm not going to talk about. If you hear my phone in the background, it couldn't wait because I have other things I got to do tonight. I'm not going to get into. So anyhow, before we were rudely interrupted, customers who were on board the train with the derailed axle, the M7, were safely removed to another M7 train and en route to Penn Station. So service was suspended for about 5 hours. I'm just quickly looking at Lee Goldberg's GFS model. I'll show you mine later on this afternoon. It looks like Friday, and I'll quickly tease it to everyone. Looks like Friday afternoon, we're going to get some severe thunderstorms in New York City at around 3 o'clock. So be prepared for that. I'll get into the weather later on, I promise. Okay. Gonna hit 90 next week. Yeah, I'll take a look at that GFS. Okay. So this is what I liked about the railroad today. They were giving us real information as this was going on. And I'll give them credit. You know, since Philip Bang has taken over, there have been some positive changes. I will admit that. The thing was, I was telling people earlier this afternoon that if, you know, you don't want to deal with the railroad, you know, it's not really going out of the way just to go east to Jackson Heights, Roosevelt, 74th Street, Broadway Station, just to get to Penn Station. That would have made it easier. I don't know why they didn't do that. Okay. In addition, all Port Jefferson diesel trains had to add stops at Hicksville and Huntington. Westbound Port Washington branch service was temporarily suspended after the departure of the 408 train from Port Washington. Okay. A lot of trains were canceled, of course. And again, thank goodness they were telling everybody about this. So let's just quickly check the Long Island Railroad Twitter feed. Get an update. All right, so at the moment right now, we have eastbound trains being delayed for an average of 10 to 15 minutes between Jamaica and Penn due to earlier derailments. The only thing I can say right now, if you're watching this live, is if you have a bus schedule to keep to, only thing I can recommend you do if you have your PDF files on your phone, just find out when the next bus is leaving. If you're catching a bus on South End and Archer, because yesterday I got screwed because I took the 312 train to Penn. I got off at Jamaica, and they had to clear the track, and yours truly had to end up taking the 355 eastbound bus to Queensboro Community College. That's how we do it at this railroad. We cause chaos. Even if Philip Bing is in, it's Lisa Pica. I blame her. All right, so good news is they are restoring service. I think I highlighted a tweet that was important to this discussion. Okay, so here's the thing. As you just saw, the Long Island Railroad is reinstating some trains. So that's very good news. The 523 train from Penn to Port Washington to Penn was the first to go in. Now, remember, this is on peak service. Now, what's so important about this? Well, in Port Washington, the thing is, a lot of people do go to the city at night for events, and you know, shows, other events. Those people are probably going to have a headache. That's for sure. But yeah, these derailments, it's definitely going to cause the FRA to do a lot of investigations. That's all I'm going to end that discussion on. Now we're going to talk about subway crime. What do we have over here at Grand Central Terminal? Police are looking for an alleged attacker who pushed a man onto the subway tracks at Grand Central Station last week. Investigators say the victim accidentally bumped into the man as they walked up the stairs to the 6 train back on, I have the date right here. I didn't change my calendar yet, ironically. This incident occurred on Monday, July 23rd. Once on the platform, the man then did the same thing and instigated a fight on the platform. Then that's when police said he pushed the victims onto the tracks. Bystanders, excuse me, everyone. I'm getting comments I don't want to read on the air. Bystanders helped pull the victim from the platform as the man took off. The victim was taken to the hospital and will be expected to be okay. Again, this is what I don't get with the subways. It's bad enough our platforms are short. And I say this again, I still think Kew Gardens Union Turnpike is a wider platform compared to Rockefeller Center. Just randomly saying this now. You know, the subway crime is just going to keep going up. Because remember, this is de Blasio City. Just don't shove people. Please. That's what I like to call subway rage. All right, so let's go to our next story. What happened on the Gowanus this morning? Well, here's what happened. A civilian member of the NYPD earlier this morning died in a freak accident when his car was struck by a tire flung from a private sanitation truck right here. A 64-year-old man from Staten Island was driving a Chevy in the eastbound lane on the Gowanus Expressway in Brooklyn around 6:30 earlier this morning, when the truck belonging to Century Waste Services, LLC, was traveling in the opposite direction. Suddenly, the truck's tire came loose and flew from the westbound lane into the windshield of the man's SUV, prompting him to crash into a roadway barrier near the 3rd Avenue exit. At the time, the victim was traveling to police headquarters in Lower Manhattan, where he worked as a seam fitter for the NYPD. The man was rushed to NYU Langone Hospital in Brooklyn, where he was pronounced dead. The name of the NYPD employee is being withheld pending family notification. The 46-year-old truck driver, however, remained at the scene after the crash and will not be charged with leaving the scene of an accident. All right. So, here are some highlights from the story this morning. I was actually paying attention to the traffic report because many of you know I work at Long Island Jewish, and I went back to work today because I was wondering how bad the LIE and the Grand Central are going to be today. Believe it or not, it was actually moving, surprisingly, but they were talking about this all morning, and the thing was, there were delays, of course, in Staten Island on the Staten Island Expressway heading to the Verrazano Bridge this morning. So, this is the thing. You know, if people were that desperate to get into the city today, why couldn't they just take the Staten Island Ferry? You know, that's why there is a Staten Island Ferry, for emergencies like this. This was an emergency today. Again, they should notify. I don't know if Notify NYC told anybody in Staten Island, don't even think about going on the Gowanus. They should have just told everybody in Staten Island, sorry, take the Bayonne Bridge, and then just cut through another way, or take the ferry. I would have taken the ferry today. Trust me. Just to get off Staten Island. Now, our weather review. Let's see how July looked in New York. All right, so back on the 3rd, we had some rain. I think our hottest day of the month, if we can double check this, was back on the 1st, believe it or not, Sunday, July 1st, at 97 degrees. And our coldest day, we can find it right here. We had one day where it was, here it was. Our coldest day was back on the 21st when it was 79 degrees. That is our coldest low of the day. It's 67, excuse me. 67 actually is the tie back on July 12th. So July was pretty unsettled at the end of the month. Our rainiest day, believe it or not, was back on the 25th, which was Wednesday last week. So that's pretty much how the weather was in New York, just hot, muggy, and honestly miserable. We did have a time between the 19th and the 20th where it was actually very comfortable, and the dew point was very good. It was in the invigorating range between 50 and 60 degrees. So that was a good sign, but once we got past this date, the weather just turned for the worst. A lot of these days were just honestly humid, muggy, and miserable. And we're pretty much dealing with the same antics again. Oh, talking about the murder from Donny Park. I'll put it up for a second.
Tonight, the fact answers. Police say Santos was acting erratically, jumping on a busy roadway. But his family wants to know, shot and killed him. He was apparently unarmed. Within the last half hour, family members joining activists for a prayer vigil and rally. Deadly shooting, which Hasbrook Heights talked to the grieving family.
I want to hear about this. All right, so back to the topic at hand. All right, so first up, current temperatures right in Fresh Meadows. Andy's ran in the studio. We will try to refresh this. If it will not refresh about that, everyone. Looks like we are refreshing. Please just stand by. We might be still on the air. Hope we're still on the air. Yeah, we're still on. I would be upset if we were off the air. Okay, now we have the current accurate conditions at 6 o'clock outside of the Andy's Random Studio in Fresh Meadows. It is currently 87 degrees with the real feel of 95. Point again is in the pretty much uncomfortable range of above 70 degrees. It's humid. Our dew point right now is 7. The humidity pretty much is at a decent level. Dew point in, it makes it very uncomfortable to be out. We actually do have a breeze. I did notice it earlier this afternoon. The direction's coming from the south. Winds at 16 miles an hour, gusting to 20 at the moment. Other stations, Forest Hills right now is reporting 83 degrees on Queens Boulevard. Bayside at the Long Island Railroad Station is reporting at 86 degrees. The Backyard in Bayside is reporting 84. Richmond Hill is reporting 84 degrees. St. Albans is reporting 82 degrees. Belleville, 4 degrees. Other stations in 85 degrees. We are trying to load our 10-day forecast. Everyone, Channel 7 is now reporting that service on the Fort Washington branch has been fully restored on railroad derailment. So, once again, he is reporting that the Long Island Railroad's Fort Washington branch has been resumed. I just saw on my screen right now. I'm just waiting to know if they're going to do a story on one is this morning. Do a story, but I'll have to wait see for that. Apparently cannot work right now and see if we can reload the 10-day forecast, because I did want to show you the 10-day forecast. So one. Come on. Load, please. We are live right now. Do not. We have people who want to watch me. All right. The only thing we got is Rip Current today. At least that loaded up. Okay. Finally, 10-day forecast is loaded. How are we looking? Okay, we have a 60% chance of rain tomorrow. According to Intellicast, most of the day tomorrow will be dry. So pretty much Lee Goldberg earlier in his forecast, I just saw his 545 report, was saying that most likely the rain will not be in the 5 boroughs until Friday afternoon. So we'll see what the GFS is predicting, because we may have to do a quick weather update tomorrow regarding the rain in the 5 boroughs. But back to the forecast, it looks like, according to Intellicast, they think that most of the day, now they're saying not wee hours, or early out morning hours, there might be a chance of a thunderstorm. Yeah, here we go. Now they're talking about the Gowanus. All right. This just came in as well. The NYPD employee who was involved in the Gowanus Expressway crash has been identified as Robert Martinez. Yes, Bill Ritter just double confirmed it. The employee's name is Robert Martinez. The family has allowed the name to be public. So, who died in the Gowanus crash today. So, back to our topic again. Let's see how Saturday looks, because I actually have plans this weekend. Okay, let's see how Saturday's looking. Okay, I will not be leaving until 4 anyway. So it looks like after 4 o'clock I'll be fine. Let's see how it looks into next week. Chance of a thunderstorm. I want to do a video in Massapequa Park next week. Let's just see how Tuesday looks. Okay, let's see. I'll have to keep an eye on this. But it looks like next week it might get comfortable. So we can only hope for a miracle. So now we're going to take a look at the GFS. We're going to go to, of course, our region. Okay, so here we go. It's loading, and we'll come here. So this is what it looks like right now. We're looking at forecast hour number 6, which is midnight tonight. So it just looks like there's going to be some light showers. So I'm going to fast forward now to 24 hours. Looks like the rain is trying to make a comeback. Okay. So I'm just reviewing it, and it says Saturday might be a better chance of rain. Have to decline that. I'll be done anyway, whoever needs to call me back. So it looks like going into next week. Let's see if it'll go into Monday next week. Okay, so we're only getting a view of Monday. It looks like Saturday it might rain. So we may have to figure out how to get the NAM at the moment. So we'll get the NAM, 32 kilometers. Yeah, I don't think we're in that region of but we are going to find it, everyone. Just stand by and we'll get the NAM on right now. Okay, we got the NAM. Let's see if the region will come. Our region will come up and we'll get started. Perfect. There we go. And then we'll do temperatures and then we'll wrap it all up. Okay, so here's the NAM. I'm trying to see if it's going to pull up any rain to New York City. Yeah, there's one quick band on Saturday, but that's pretty much it. They're saying there could be a band that goes into Saturday. But then it'll clear up. That's some good news. We'll take a look at the HRRR because that's the most accurate model we can get. So here's the HRRR. There we go. So looks like there's a band just going into upstate New York. Excellent, good. So I'm trying to pull up the climate for you. So we're gonna have to go back to the GFS with regards to temperatures, and then we'll wrap this up. I am trying to pull up the numbers with regards to the temperatures. If I can find it, I will let you all know. It takes a while to play around with this website, so I apologize about that, everyone. This is on. I cannot find the temperatures. Here we go. I think this might be it. There we go. Excellent. Excellent. Good. The air temperatures. So how's that going to look? We keep playing with this. I think we might find something. Excellent. There we go. That's what we wanted to take a look at. So this is what we're going to take a look at right now. We're going to take a look at our region with regards to temperatures. Just pull it up. Okay, so looks like going into next week. See if it says we'll hit 90. There's one thing that says it might hit 90 in Jersey. Can't rule that one out. Let's just go to next week and see if it says anything. Excellent. Okay, good. So, you see this redder color over here. It looks like we may actually hit 90 on Monday, according to the GFS. And we can't really go that far ahead. So let me just figure out if we can get a air temperature. Yeah, Ma! Ma? Yes! All right. Sorry about that, everyone. We're almost done. So let me just figure it out. I'm trying to find you the air temperature, but I just can't figure it out right now. I thought there maybe be something with regards to the dew point. I can't find it at the moment. So I think we're going to wrap up this stream. My mom wants me to come down for dinner. I have to download another video anyway as I'm eating. So we're just going to wrap this one up. Thank you for watching. Till the next video, everyone. Take care.